All right, want to grow your business, diversify your content? You're not going to find a better tool out there than Melon for your live streaming needs. Blazing fast response time, low CPU usage, all available right in your browser. Go to melonapp.com/wolf and start streaming today.
2nd down and 9. Rudolph inside the 10. Oh! What an effort! JuJu Smith-Schuster. How about it? Roethlisberger gives her a lot of room here. JuJu Smith-Schuster off to the races. Inside the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown. 97 yards.
Were you always like this? Did it start off when you were young? Like, as soon as you picked up a football, like you were a naturally great athlete and you started grooming yourself for that? Was that what's going on?
Yeah, honestly, it was just picking up a football was natural.
How old were you?
I was 4 years old.
Where's the ball? Let's get this ball here. I should have a ball in my hand here.
There you go. Yeah, so I was 4 years old, and I started playing football.
Don't drop it. I'd be pissed if you dropped the ball. You never drop it, right?
Never dropped the ball. So I was 4 years old. I started playing football, and then it kind of got serious. Like I was like, man, I don't know what I want to do. Like growing up as a kid, I think football was cool. It was a great, thing to have. And then in high school, I got my first interception in San Diego State. San Jose State was there, and I got my first offer. I called my dad, and I was like, yo, Dad, I think I got a scholarship. He was like, oh, that's awesome, that's cool. And he was like, yeah, that's cool, you should play football. So I took it seriously, stopped doing, track, stopped doing rugby, and then 4 years later down the line, I had like 35 offers to go to college.
What was your background growing up? Did you come from a middle class family, lower middle class, upper class? I would
say I was like, low middle class. I had ups and downs. I'm half Samoan, so I grew up with like 5 sisters, 2 brothers. I lived in a garage with,
You're tiny for
9 of
Samoan,
us.
though, right?
Yeah,
you're a mini Samoan.
I'm mixed. Yeah, a little mini junior Samoan,
Right,
I guess what you would say.
right?
So I did that, lived in the garage, moved in here. We only had 1 car, but my dad sacrificed so much for us just to have what we had and like just to get me where I need to go. And I think that my parents are just like, whatever we do, we got to keep this kid in football, And that's, I stayed the path. I kept my head on straight. Decided to come to the campus we're on right now. Came in for 2.5 years, lived my life, and went to the NFL. I was 20 years old.
So we're at USC here, right? Beautiful. It's kind of empty because of COVID, right?
Yep.
Which is the first thing you say is, I can't believe what this is like, right? Normally it would be bustling with activity, right? How important was it, do you think, the educational side of it? Was it important for you, or it didn't really make a,
I finessed my way through USC. And to this day, I
love the honesty. That's the honest man, right? Oh, yeah, I attended every class.
I attended every class.
With the 62nd pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select JuJu Smith-Schuster from USC.
Was there a moment in that, like, sort of your college years where you're like, I know it's happening. I'm like, when was the moment when you first realized you were heading for the NFL, and whether or not you do anything amazing there like you ended up doing, but when was the moment you realized it was definitely I'm going?
Oh man, it was when we won the Rose Bowl. I was like, man, I don't have to come back to school. We won the Rose Bowl. It was perfect, and decided to get drafted in the 2nd round. And at that point, I was just like, dude, this is my calling. This is my dream. This is what I'm doing.
So now you went to Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
And then you recently became a free agent, right? Mm-hmm. And I was listening to a podcast you did recently with who was it?
Michael Irvin.
Bingo, that's it, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things you guys were talking about in that podcast, which I thought was interesting, was the idea that you didn't take the most money you could have made. You had higher offers from other places, but you decided to stay in 1 year free agent, right?
Yep.
So you decided to stay in Pittsburgh. Why did you do that? What was the reason for that? Your mindset.
So Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, great quarterback, honestly, doesn't throw the ball as much as I would like to. Them making me number 1 on the other side would be cool. I loved it. And then KC, Kansas City Chiefs, another Super Bowl contenders the past 3 to 4 years, and will be the next 10 years. Playing with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, it would have been tough, Like if I'm doing a 1 year deal and trying to get paid next year, I'd rather take the bet on myself if I stay one more year, it's kind of like the Dak Prescott situation where he kind of bet on himself and he got paid. And that's what I'm doing, you know. I think the Steelers have the most cap next year, so hopefully I'll be able to stay with them the next 4 years. But man, just training and just going hard. So
was it a tough decision, or was it like just was it always like that's
it
what
was?
I'm doing?
It was tough. It was tough because both other teams offer more money. It was tough, and I had Andy Reid sending me Super Bowl pictures of the Lombardi Trophy, like, yo, come. And then I had everybody from Baltimore, like players, like reaching out to me, texting me, Harbaugh calling me, like, hey, like, what's up? Like, let's go win this, let's go win.
Right.
And our division is hard this year, so it'll be interesting to see what we do.
What would you say that your like proudest moment was during your college career? Is it Rose Bowl? Winning the Rose Bowl?
I would say my proudest moment, it will probably be the Rose Bowl, just because like, it was a team, it was a crazy game. We won by 3 points, or 2 points actually, off a field goal. It was the most insane thing. So
what did it feel like? Like, what was the feeling
bro,
like you had?
the feeling
to have all I mean, it's got to be the greatest feeling in the world, right?
The greatest feeling in the world, I'll always say this, the Super Bowl is probably the most watched. You know, any championship game is the most watched, because unlike movies, you go, I want to see a horror movie, I want to see a scary movie, I want to see an action movie, I want to see an adventure movie, but for sports, you don't get that. Sports, you don't know the outcome of it. That's why March Madness is probably one of the craziest tournaments to ever be played or watched, because literally teams get upset who are supposed to win don't end up winning.
Right.
So the excitement you get out of sports is like unreal.
You just don't know the outcome.
You just don't know the outcome of it. And that's why people and like all around the world, like their emotions and feelings are so twisted, because, you know, Ohio State is #1, but they lose to a team that's 16 in the first round. And it's like, what happened, you know?
Tell me the process. So, like, when you were making this decision to stay in Pittsburgh, right? It's 1 year, right? Is that what it is? Mm-hmm. So, what was the process here? Were you weighing things? It was like a business decision?
It's literally the most stressful thing you can. Free agency is the most stressful thing.
You sit down. Who's your agent? So, is Jay-Z your actual?
Yeah, so I'm with Rock Nation.
Right.
And it's stressful because you're just waiting. Teams are basically bidding on you this year. It was tough this year with COVID and everything. Like, the market was very low.
Right.
So I didn't get what I wanted to get, but I was able to stay where I want to stay and bet on myself in the year. So
got it. So
about 3-4 days, you're just like dreading now. Like, yo, what's going on? It's stressful. Like, what's happening?
You ever get that where you feel like everyone's giving you all this praise and accolades, but you're still just JuJu, right?
Yeah. So for me, it's crazy because I've had moments in my life where, you know, I would sit back and realize, like, wow, I am who I am, and like I did what I did. You know, I never thought that I would be the person to, you know, as a rookie, to go down and score a 97-yard touchdown. And it's like, wow, at the end of the day, like, I'm still the same person, the same JuJu, the same person who didn't have anything. Now I have something in life. And it's crazy to me, like you say that, because, you know, there's been multiple times where, you know, I'll walk by the mirror and I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, wow, I am who I am. And, you know, it's crazy.
Did you find, like, all of a sudden, like, so you probably have your old friends who are always your friends, right? How do you deal with all the people that start coming out of the woodwork, that like the hangers-ons, the leeches? Some could be great, but a lot of them aren't. Do you have like some sort of way that you kind of like keep your circle tight?
Yeah, of course. It's this saying of, you know, the pyramid. So, you know, you start from the bottom, and you probably had the same way. You know, you're growing. The pyramid gets, you know, smaller to reach the peak, and it's just you and like your boys. I mean, your 20s probably different than my 20s, but definitely.
My way of dealing with it was drugs. Thank God that's not your way, right? So like, what do you do with like when you ever have those moments? How do you handle the stress and the sort of the anxiety? You know,
honestly, gaming is like everything to me. So video games is the way of my life where I can like go out of my comfort zone and pretty much, you know, get away from all that, get away from the world.
Hey. Yo, hey, okay, go.
The gaming world is literally taking over. I have my own gaming team called Team Diverge,
right.
And we're pretty much like, you know, companies are reaching out to us, honestly, because yes, I'm a pro athlete, but then again, it's like the gaming is literally taking over.
How much is this also about like dieting and like they have this whole regimen of eating right and staying like in shape? Is there part of it like where these guys really are athletes in the sense that they're like there's 10 hours of mental focus requires incredible, you know, almost training and conditioning?
Literally 10 hours of 10 hours a day of just gaming. And the best part about it is that they love what they're doing. You know, you're constantly making content. These guys, they even do workout videos too on Twitch, you know, showing people that, hey, like, this is what I'm doing, I'm gaming. Are you into gaming yourself? Have you got into it yet?
So I'm just starting. So my son, who's over there, by the way, used to play games, and it drove me. I'm like, dude, you're never gonna get laid if you keep playing. Like I had this old style school of thought that like when I was growing up, it was like, it started when I got my parents brought home Pong. And you're like, bong, bong, and you're like, holy shit, like it's on my TV. Like you couldn't believe the technology back then, right? And then it started to advance so fast. And then I didn't do it for a few years, and I was like, whoa, I missed it. It was like, it became so complex, and I'm watching these kids like I couldn't play the games.
Yeah.
It just seemed too hard to do, right? So I missed that window, and then I watched my kids, and like they're addicted to this stuff.
Yeah, man.
And I think my other son, Bone, was like actually got to the higher right. What game was it, Carter? Was that?
Years of War?
Yeah, he was actually a ranked player in the world, and he was doing amazing in it. And ultimately, the interesting thing is I see that like anything, if there's a demand for something, it turns into a business, right?
Yes.
It's a natural outgrowth, right?
Yes. And now that kids are going to college, kids are getting scholarships, kids are winning money, kids are making money off of just gaming, off of just showing their face and playing something that they love doing. And back then, like for me, like the first game I've ever touched was a Nintendo, Mario Kart, 007, Donkey Kong. Now it's to the point where like kids are growing up playing PC, computers, mouse and keyboard, and literally I'm on the game, and every time I die, I feel like I'm losing to like a 10-year-old. I rage every time.
Whoa, I had him! He's 25! 25 away!
How much more lucrative is off the field for you than versus on the field? Which is, do you see that, like, for example, back when I was growing up, there was this thing that a lot of athletes, that they would end up broke at the end.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case anymore as much, especially at the top, when they get to sort of the top where you're at, right? Mm-hmm. But how much of have you like sort of designing your whole, the business of JuJu around that? Hey, I'm an athlete. I love playing. It's my
I
thing.
love it.
But also I'm building a brand. I'm building a business. Tell me about like sort of that aspect of how you make decisions and where it starts. How do you build the brand of JuJu?
So it starts with capitalizing it right now when you're hot. I think a lot of athletes, a lot of people try to, after I'm done with football, let me try to get into this. Let me try to do that. I think majority of us, we all do sports talk, and that's such a common thing. And it's just so common for us to talk about something we already know. Like, yes, it's cool, but then again, like, adventure outside of your thing. So for me, for myself, like, I started gaming, I started doing YouTube, I'm doing Twitch, I'm doing basically everything, and just making sure that I'm setting up my life for the future.
Right.
And just recently, I partnered with my boy Greg. He's about to come in here.
Let's get Greg in here, by the way.
Let's get him,
What's
my
up,
guy.
buddy? The Greg Grillz. Jewelry man, right?
Yeah, so
Grillz, right? I thought the Grillz they were gone, and like, what happened? Wait, I thought that, correct me if I'm wrong, right? That it was like a 2000 thing, right? Are Grillz back now? Tell me the story. What's the story?
I think Grillz are back and bigger than ever, honestly.
The Grillz are back, huh?
The Grillz are back, baby.
Before it used to be more of a statement of wealth, and now it's more correlating with fashion.
Well, like people like that, because if you're really wealthy, you wouldn't need to have a grill. But like people would do that when it's like nouveau riche, new money, right? But now you're saying it's no longer about that.
Right.
So tell me, what's the new evolution of this?
Well, we sell all kinds of little pieces that just will match up with someone's gold zipper, like from their jacket. It's all about little accents, and we sell a lot of diamond grills. I mean, it's either people want to be.
Right? That's a piece, right?
Yeah, that's a little bracelet.
Okay.
That's a Cartier bracelet. I didn't make that though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like to give credit where credit's
Yeah,
due,
right. But I mean, yeah, it's either some people have a very flashy type personality and they want to shine, and some people just want something very subtle and want like a little outline of their tooth. And some people don't want grills at all. That's why I sell a bunch of watches and chains with it too.
I'm more a watch guy, by the
Yeah.
way. Maybe I'll buy a watch. How did you guys meet, by the way? How did this start, the collaboration?
Right here. It's crazy because this chain right here, it all started off with this. I was in college and I was like, I want a piece that's like, I just wanted like a nice chain. I was like, he looked out for me. Like I found him through USC, like some of the other boys, some of the people on social media. And I was like, yo, can you do like an Nagawi trust chain? So he did my first one, and within the first 4 years of my career, I was like, I finally got the money, like I'm gonna try to buy another one and get a bigger one. So he came up with another one, he did it bigger, actually looked out for me, and I was like, bro, like, this is fire, like, this is something that's gonna grow. So then he reached out, we started talking more and more, and now we're GrillzGrills.com.
while you're still, even though you're still, I want to ask you one personal question, because the one thing that sticks out about you, above everything else, not that you're an athlete, not you're a handsome guy, you got everything going, but you got your shit together. No, there's something about you that just reeks of, I got my shit together, I'm stable. And how much of that do you think is about your parents raising you well? Like, you come from, it seems like a really good family, you're connected with your church, like you really got your shit together.
Yeah, man, it's just, honestly, just being able to have like that foundation of a mom and dad,
Let's sit
my
down for a couple
siblings.
minutes and talk here, sitting down, right? It'd be good to sit down, because I want to get into some funny subjects here about like TikTok and everything. No, so honestly, it's like you totally have your shit together, and a lot of professional athletes and businessmen don't, right? It just sort of comes through really clearly. So when I asked you a question, I said, what was your family like? And I wasn't the least bit surprised when you said, we had some, I come from a low middle class family too, right? And we had, we always had what we needed, but not what we wanted.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like the way you grew up?
It's just the same way. Like for me, like I grew up in a position where, I was fortunate to have, the blessed, to have the ability to go out and play sports and play football. And, with that, I think my biggest thing, honestly, I'll be honest with you, is how kind I am, my heart. I'm so giving, so loving that I spend too much money on giving and not worrying about, the future. And like I said, I still plan for the future. Like the things that me and Greg are doing, like this is something that like I'm looking ahead. I want to be able to be done with sports and football within 10 years.
How old are you, 24, 5?
I'm 24.
Okay, so
within 10 years, and like at 34, 35 years old, I want to be able to sleep knowing that I have cash flow constantly coming in,
right,
and not worrying about what's my next meal, what's my next move. It's like you make money while you're sleeping.
Is there an athlete that you would say represents like what you want to aspire to?
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Him creating his own agency, his own business. He's pretty much like the whole foundation of what he's doing in the NBA is kind of what I want to do for football.
And do you think, is that something that he did? Is it like he's a really smart guy? Is he surrounded by great people? Combination? What is it?
I think for him, it's a smart guy, and his guy, hey Greg, his guy, his right hand man? Mav? Yeah, Mav Carter. Yeah, so Mav Carter is his right hand man who pretty much took him under his wing and was like, yo, I'm doing everything for you. And like now he's creating like business like left and right.
And so tell me about what's the economics there. So how does the business grow? How do you make money? Obviously you're selling stuff. Are you selling online? What's the strategy for growth?
It's a multi-pronged strategy. I mean, we have all sorts of online marketing campaigns going on Instagram, Facebook, Google, Twitter. We're about to start doing TikTok. We have a ton of user-generated content we're trying to start focus on more and more right now.
That's a solid mold, dude.
It's a good mold.
I gotta say, Greg, you got some dope putty.
Yo, I got Grillz, bro.
Talking rubies, P-A-U-L on the front 4 teeth.
In person right now, we're trying to build out a storefront so I can start manufacturing on a much larger scale. And
where are you looking to put your storefront?
In downtown jewelry district. Yeah, we already have a space that we found and we want to start doing it. So
let's talk about TikTok. He's a TikTok fiend, right? You're like, let me ask you a question. When you were doing this stuff in the early days, was everyone laughing at you, like saying, "What are you?"
Yeah, I get so much shit for it. Like even in like the free agency, like teams weren't even like interested because like all my TikTok dances, and it's like I don't get why that's such a big factor, and like am I causing too much problem? Like, I danced on a logo and then we were winning.
Right.
And once we started losing, people find things to like pinpoint on. Yeah. So like for me, it's like, okay, at the end of the day, like I do TikTok, I do social media, like I make more money off the field than I do on the field.
Right.
So you guys can't hate on me for that.
Right.
And this past draft, like I had the best numbers, like by far, in any receiver. But teams still like, hey, does he love football? He doesn't love football. I mean, put on the film, put on the tape.
So what type of stuff do you do on TikTok? Well, like we say, TikTok dance.
I do anything trendy, like pretty much I like dancing, anything that's video game wise. Honestly, like just anything that's like funny, like this one right here, we do this, you go like this. You go, sheesh, sheesh.
Wait, I just used how to do. Okay, we gotta do it. What is it? I need some coaching. I need some coaching here. What is it?
Like sheesh, but sheesh, sheesh. Go like this, go like this, go like this. Sheesh.
So I gotta take my jacket off. I got a microphone on here. I can't. All right. All right, ready? All right, let's do it again. Ready? Ready?
So you like this? And then, come on, Greg. Ready?
Let's go.
Sheesh.
So my son has me. I'm like, I'm selling my fucking soul to the devil here. I'm like, sheesh. What's it? I did another one. What's the one with the clown face filter? Do you see with the clown face?
Oh yeah.
Super viral.
You pretty much just put on your face and like it's a filter. Yeah.
7.5 million views in one day.
It's crazy. It's crazy, and that's something like we're trying to do too. Like with the Grillz and everything. Like social media is like it's insane compared to obviously like where you're growing up. Like you probably it would probably been even worse for you if you had social media back in the day.
Oh God! Listen, when it first started, it's because of my sons that I really have a big footprint. Because I was like, I don't want to deal with this stuff. It's ridiculous. Come on, you know, I'm real world famous. Like I don't need to be so. But the truth is that social is really important. It's getting more and more important. And I think there was like this moment. It happened before the pandemic, but like I think what everyone's realizing now, and you see it with whether it's in esports, which you're huge in, is that anything that happens in the real world can have its counterpart in the digital world. Like you could have your same grills that you're making, and you could have NFT versions of them.
Right.
Where you could actually, and you know what NFTs are, right? You could do NFTs. We could do NFTs of your moment in the Rose Bowl, like the official JuJu. Was there one catch you made or something? It's like a 2-second instant. It's like a moment in time. It's amazing stuff, right? So, are you guys looking at that as well?
Yeah. I mean, a dancing JuJu NFT wearing some Grillz would be awesome, you know?
Yeah, and like doing a limited edition of, you know, dropping something that, you know, that's rare to me. Like one thing, like you said, the In God We Trust, like the pendants, like I've had since I've been in college, and that's something we share personally because like this is like my first one until this day I still wear it.
You mentioned that you're one of the things that was great about USC was that it was near church, right? So how much is that a part of your life still?
A lot. To this day, you know, I still go to church. I still do my tithing. You know, my pastor's like he's like happy because like you know no matter how much money I make.
With God here, right?
Yeah. No matter how much money you make, you give back to the Lord, the man above. And I'm just a believer in faith. And you know, whether I make $1 million, I'm giving 10% of that to the church. You know, and it's going to come back in full fold. You know, not just to me, but the people around me.
And how about your personal life? Any you married? You single? What do you got going on here?
I'm single, man. 24.
Really?
Living a life, trying to
Come
be like
on,
you,
let's
man.
Come on. Got a girlfriend?
I don't have a girlfriend. Nah.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a serious relationship?
I have. I was in a serious relationship from high school for 2 years and I went to college. Serious here. That's one thing that I experienced is like being single in college and being like the star football player. For me, it was like I was in a relationship and I was a star football player. And then like after college, that's when I was like 20 years old and I started living my life.
Hey, JB here, the Real Wolf of Wall Street. Here to tell you that the Wolf Network has moved. Check out our new site at www.wolf.online. Again, that's www.wolf.online. What do you mean you're not a member yet? Come on, sign up right now and start taking control of your life and your money. Believe me, you'll be glad you did. What do you think is the biggest mistake that you've made so far in your career? I don't mean with on field, like, oh, I didn't catch the ball. I mean, has there been any like strategic mistakes that you think you've made or things that you think you need?
Honestly, I would say my first financial advisor. He took about like $250,000 from me. And not noticing that he was doing it, you know, I
Stole
never.
it from you? Like literally just swiped it?
Yeah, swiped it.
Is he in jail?
Nah, and this is something that we've been dealing with, you know, with lawyers and just going back and forth. He put himself in a position where, you know, we had like multiple accounts open and he was moving money to like left and right, was pulling out cash, checks, and like was transferring money that way. And it was just like, it just didn't make sense to me. And I started noticing it. And I had to reach out. I was like, hey, I want to get this, you know, someone to look over it. Another financial advisor to look over it, like what's going on. Yeah, he ended up getting caught. And then from there, completely went ghost. Tried to call lawyers and everything. And to this day, you know, it's still something that we're still trying to figure out.
So that was one thing. So you're hiring the wrong person. How about like in your career so far in terms of not on the field, but like within, have you you feel really good about where you are in terms of the endorsements that you're doing? And
every endorsement, I'm not a money grabber. That's one thing about me. You'll see everything I partner with is all because I love it and it's a passion. Whether it's I'll do it even if it's less money and I know I'm not that worth that less. Right. You know, and like even this like jewelry, like I have a passion for it. I have a passion for this because it's like, you know, this is gonna be something you one day. Like money, like this right here will last forever. And it's just like I got a deal offer from Bud Light, you know. And they'll offer tons of money, and I don't drink beer, so I'm not gonna do it.
Right.
And I do stuff that I put myself in a position where like, man, I love this. I want to work with this brand. I'll put myself in that position.
What do you think about like politics in sports? So I just read an article yesterday, and like there's two schools of thought in this, right? One school of thought, I think it was Brett Favre. I just saw this yesterday, right? He said, I think that, you shouldn't mix politics and sports. People should just play sports and keep politics separate. And then other people are much more vocal, like LeBron. He's very vocal about things. What do you think? Is there a sort of, is there a fine line? Is there a balance? What are your thoughts on it?
I think everyone, I mean, it's a free country. Everyone has a voice. Everyone can speak. I think for myself, like everyone has a moment to speak up and change. And for me, myself, like, I believe that with politics, it should be involved in everything, and that's just how our world is. You cannot have just sports and not have politics, because if you don't have politics, it's just like, now we're just working men.
The world is too messy. It's like not like
it's too messy.
It would be nice to say, yes, just play sports and not keep it split in the idea that everything sort of at some point crosses over.
It's just a full circle. So for me, like myself, like with politics, like, I see it, I understand it. One thing about, what's going on right now in our world is that it's not going to change overnight. It's something that has to be constant for a very long time, and it will change over time. And to this day, it's still going on. So I just strongly agree for everyone out there just to be strong and, keep being positive and more actions.
So do you think, so if someone wants to get public about it, you think that's good? If they don't want it, that's equally just a personal choice. And where do you think things are going right now in terms of like with the NFL? Where do you think the future lies? Like they're saying that on some level viewership is dropping. Is that true? How much of that is related to politics, or just that there's a million eyeballs everywhere else right now?
At the end of the day, like I feel like everyone has their own opinion as far as like, the views being dropped. But when it comes to like the time of it being like sports and people playing and actually watching, I think it's the actual thing. I think people are still going to watch. People are still going to be interested in what happens. I don't see it being like a dramatic change and drop. But for ourselves, for myself, I think we all love sports at the end of the day.
I grew up loving football, not loving baseball.
Who's your favorite team?
Giants growing up.
So
okay, I'll admit it. I started off with the Jets. They just sucked for so many years that we just kind of gave up. It was like when Joe Namath, I was a kid, it was Joe Namath, right? And it was like this amazing year they had. And I even remember when they actually interrupted the Super Bowl for something. It was like the key moment. They cut to like Heidi. It was like, this is back so long ago, right? But then the Jets were just like, they were like just awful.
Yeah.
So I got really into the Giants, and I grew up as a Giants fan. And then I kind of like, listen, my kids are huge. My son Carter's just a crazy fan, right? Basketball, baseball, football, everything, right? Baseball's the one thing I couldn't, it was just too slow for me. Did you ever play baseball at all, though?
Nah, I went to, I got drafted at Pittsburgh, the Pirates, and like the first day we got there, the first week we got there, we went to like a Pirate game. I ended up just like sleeping. They caught me sleeping on the big can. I'm a rookie, and I just got drafted here. I was like knocked out, but that's definitely something I'm not interested in. But
let's flash forward 5 years from now, right? Let's say, let's make it 10 years. You got a kid, right? Do you want your kid to, let's say it's a boy, you want him to follow in your footsteps? What do you think about that?
I want him to just live his life.
Whatever he wants.
Whatever he wants. I got a little brother right now. He feels like he was doing sports. He felt a lot of pressure because, who I am, and, he felt like he had to become something he was supposed to become. But my kid, man, I would have loved for him to do anything he wants to do, How about you? How are your boys doing?
Same exact thing. So I have 3 kids all together. They each have their own path. 2 of them work for me, but they're all also have their own individual interests. My daughter's a psychologist. No shock, because of me as her dad. Right? No, I think you're right, though. I guess it's just like, I just imagine having you as a dad. Right? I'm guessing by the time you're 10 years, you're going to have a zillion more records, right? You're going to be super wealthy. Sometimes you look at your dad, it's like a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
So your little brother kind of feels that, you think?
Yeah, he feels that. And like now he went from want to be a pro athlete to music to he wants to be a governor. Now he's into gaming. I feel like everything goes back to gaming. I swear it does.
And how about you? So in terms of you guys have this collaboration, right? Where do you see the business going? And you look at to really scale this thing and make this a huge company.
Well, the reason why in particular I love being partners with JuJu is because he's not afraid to put himself out there. He's not afraid to make content and just do whatever it takes to get the eyeballs on the business. And he sees the vision with me, and what he was saying about doing something other than football while doing football, it's really tough. And balancing our schedules and coordinating, getting on team meetings, and it's been tricky, but we work it out. And moving forward, I think we're starting to find our rhythm, and it's growing really fast. So it's just been blessings.
Yeah, and I'll say this, like one thing, like everyone that's like watching this, like you guys, like everyone that's watching this, like at my age, when you're at your peak, that's when you want to attack everything as much as possible, because you don't want to be the guy. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be another JuJu, there's going to be another Greg, there's going to be another Jordan. And
Yeah,
like,
100%.
it's
Best
like
believe there's so many
you got to
Jewers,
like
too.
do it now, because if you don't do it now, no one's not going to be interested in you. Unless you're like a LeBron James or someone who, who has like that power or lasts
Transcends
forever.
it, right? Yeah, that's a very rare thing. No, but you're right. I think the smartest thing you said today is literally that, like striking while the iron's hot.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And not trying to say, oh, after I'm done, then I'll focus on
Right,
building my
yes.
brand and whatnot, right?
So, yeah, and as JuJu grows, I'm growing, the company's growing, and we're just all growing and working our asses off all the time.
Can we make you a grill?
Yeah, 100%. We're gonna make you a grill.
Let's do it.
So like, check this out. This would be like an example of something that's like a few $100s, right? Just a pair of fangs. These are like the most popular things that I sell. Anything like this would be like anywhere from like $300 to $600.
Wait, let me see. What do you mean? In other words,
This would be anywhere from like $300 to $600.
so this just goes on top of my teeth, right?
Right, and then these are an actual person's teeth. They're different. You see, it's like everyone's different. It's all custom made.
All right.
And then we have like a little bit crazier stuff. Like
I
this
spent
person,
one day in dental school, so I know about this.
Really?
Yeah,
This person put little blue diamonds on theirs.
I walked into dental school. I wanted to be rich, and the first day the dean gets up and goes, "Welcome to the Baltimore College of Dental Surgery. You're proud to be here. Dentistry is a wonderful profession." But let me say this: the golden age of dentistry is over. If you're here to make a lot of money, you're probably in the wrong place. I'm like, what the fuck? And I got up and I left it and went back first day.
That's comedy.
Like, fuck. All the kids like, what the hell? But still, I know about more. I was there, so
I might as well have been a dentist poking around everyone's
I
mouth
know.
all the day.
Yes. All right. Well,
Yeah, this is like something that's a little bit more unique. Like just a little cross in there, blue diamonds.
People love this in
See,
all
like,
ages.
So we're building a feature where you can customize it all yourself.
I like it.
So
how do you do a
lifetime.
mold for me? Let's do a mold. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do that real quick. That'd be so cool.
We got to do a TikTok. I can't dance like this. I watched you dance. He's a fucking dancer.
We do something simple.
Yeah, it's gonna be really simple. Because my kids make fun of me.
Oh, Corvette.
Oh, wait, is that the Cadillac? Or is it what? The Cadillac dance? Or what is it?
The Corvette.
Oh, the Corvette.
That should be comedy.
What's the I thought it was the Cadillac. No? It's the Corvette?
Yeah, it's
the
a
fuck is the
Corvette.
Corvette?
Is
I
this-
like it. It's better a Corvette, I think, than a Caddy. It would never be Corvette than a Cadillac. Let's see the Corvette.
Yeah,
What is the
so-
Corvette, though? Oh, fuck.
They were like, Pop, why you all like that? Why you talk like that? Why you all like that?
Less than 5? Yeah.
I'ma play Eddie, I'm up. I don't
Holy
So
shit.
this was a dance I was doing on logos, and like people were getting like mad. So like the Cowboys, like Jerry Jones was so pissed.
They were like, Pop, why you all like that? Why you talk like that? Why you all like that?
I needed like a month of preparation for this freaking dance here. I needed like
No,
a
it would be funny that you don't know it, because then like it'll go more viral.
All right.
So this is the go this way. Walk like that. Talk like that. Walk like that. Okay.
Oh, fuck. Right. Say it again, right?
And then whoa. All right, ready?
Oh, Jesus.
Bitch.
Hey.
Corvette.
Corvette,
Hop in the
Corvette.
jet like that. Swing. Walk like that. Talk like that. Walk like that. Whoa.
Oh, fuck. I'm never going to live this down.
Okay, look.
One more time. Okay,
Bitch. Corvette. Turn this way.
Turn this way.
Swing.
Swing.
Walk like that. Talk like that. Walk like
Okay,
that.
I got it.
Okay.
I'm really a smart
I
guy,
just
by
wanted
the
to-
way. I know.
Oh, trust me, it's more funny.
All right, ready?
All right, he's got to start it.
So it's like this, Corvette.
Yeah. Corvette.
Okay.
This way.
Okay, ready? So this,
Bit. Yeah, Corvette.
Corvette.
And then turn this way.
All right.
Oh, you started?
All right, ready?
All right, ready?
There you go.
Turn. Swing. Swing. Walk like that. Talk like that. Walk like that. Hit the wall. Hit the wall. Do this. Yeah, let's go. That's exactly what it is.
All right. Hey guys, hey, let's one thing. JuJu. There's JuJu the man. Where's the camera? Thanks for coming on, buddy. You're the best,
That was
man.
awesome, man.
This
That
guy's
was
a
really
star.
cool.